This was one of the most bizarre protests of the decade. Dozens of riot police attended a rally in a village in Germany, where climate campaigners were demonstrating against a new coal mine. Unfortunately for the cops, they were foiled by the thick mud. They ended up getting stuck and falling over in the quagmire. Everything is just that little bit more colorful in Thailand. So it was no different when it came to their own version of the Asian Spring. Protesters carried hundreds of rubber ducks to show their anger. At another, there were inflatable dinosaurs. Light waving and Harry Potter costumes even became a trend. Some protesters pushed the boundaries of taste with a satirical fashion show mocking the country's princess, but they were quickly dealt with. The return of Hong Kong from the trade and liberty-loving British to the authoritarianism of the Chinese Communist Party was always going to be a bitter pill to swallow for residents who had become accustomed to a more democratic way of life in the shadow of Queen Victoria. And so it was in 2020 when young people protested against the growing power of the mainland over the small enclave popular with expat bankers. Sadly, just like the US soldiers of Texas, they were ultimately sealing themselves into the Alamo and, predictably, found themselves being punished when Xi Jinping cracked down on their rebelliousness.
Money.
They are dedicated
compassion. If you're being compassionate, then please stop using animals for entertainment.
Get back. Get back. It's a private lobby.
There are few more noble causes than campaigning for the rights of those who don't have a voice. It helps when they're small and furry and cute. Or in the case of elephants, large and leathery and cute. That's where PETA comes in. Their protests have become increasingly extravagant and headline-grabbing, from body paint to mock slaughters. They push the boundaries of what defines a conventional demonstration. Litigation has even become one of their forms of protest, with court cases launched on behalf of monkeys and orcas.
How do I wake up?
An excuse are not an excuse for animal abuse. Jackets are not an excuse.
Protesters love pantomime villains. And with President Trump's reputation somewhat restored by his sweeping victory in 2024 and attempts to bring world peace, anti-fascists turned their attention to Trump's first buddy Elon Musk. Musk had campaigned for Trump, so angry mobs attacked any Tesla cars they could find and threw paint on Tesla showrooms.
USA. No Musk, no KKK, no.
They became confused when Musk and Trump had a spectacular falling out and realized that Musk has done more than anyone to bring in the EV revolution and help the climate. Which brings us to our next group. Few movements have been more infuriating to the general public than the climate movement. Whereas once the demos were led by harmless eco-hippies at Greenpeace, who were regarded quite fondly, a new radical segment called Extinction Rebellion and Just Stop Oil emerged. This cult has roped in lots of well-heeled and well-educated young protesters, as well as equally well-heeled and well-educated pensioners, who take pride in smashing art installations or hurling orange paint over buildings. But for the public, these climate extremists cause the greatest annoyance when they block roads, which is especially frustrating for anyone with actual jobs to reach. However, everyone who has had a parcel from Amazon go missing supported them when they targeted the wedding of its multi-squillionaire owner Jeff Bezos, because he doesn't help the planet enough.
Stop.
Yes, sister, can I come to America, Toba?
We must just stop oil.
There are few things that upset farmers more than being hit in the pocket. And in recent years, landowners across Europe have been battered by a barrage of tax increases and trade deals that would harm their livelihoods. So what do farmers do when they're angry? Why, drive their tractors, of course. Whether it's blocking roads in London or surrounding landmarks in Paris, farmers sure know how to protest once they put their minds to it. For most people, the Maori tribe are known by their somewhat uncomfortable dance performed at the start of rugby matches. This dance is called the haka, and it never fails to evoke a reaction from spectators. Now, many of the people with indigenous Maori heritage in New Zealand are using that same energy to push for rights and protections in the country. If it means we get to keep seeing that iconic tribal ritual, it's a good thing. The Black Lives Matter movement actually began in 2013, but was hardly known until it took off in 2020. The catalyst was the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis at the knee of a policeman. This sparked mass protests across the United States and led to sportsmen and women around the world taking the knee, a trend that continues to this day. For the incumbent president, one Donald Trump, the timing of the demonstrations and the ensuing carnage could hardly have been worse and was one of the factors in his election loss.
Get out! Listen, the opposite is true. The opposite of what you just said is true.
Jonathan, get this on video. Fuck white supremacy! Fuck white supremacy! Fuck white supremacy!
Let's go. Lives matter.
Where you going? Where you going? Relax, relax, relax. Relax, relax. Relax, relax, relax. Relax.
You're going to be arrested. This is your only warning that you're going to get. So it's time.
Press!
The 2020 U.S. presidential elections were supposed to be a glorious second term for Donald Trump. Well, at least in his mind. Trump was regularly seen dancing on the campaign trail. But alas, that fairy tale ending was not meant to be. What started as a strong campaign for the billionaire property developer quickly descended into chaos. The Democratic candidate Joe Biden emerged as the winner of the vote, something that proved hard to accept for Trump and his supporters.
He said he supports Trump.
Mass protests erupted that culminated in the storming of the Capitol building on January 6. Critics claimed that Trump had incited the violence. He was federally indicted in 2023 for allegedly trying to overturn the 2020 election, including conduct tied to the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack. Trump and allies were charged in Georgia State Court in 2023 under racketeering and other laws for allegedly trying to overturn his 2020 loss in that state. That led to this iconic mugshot. Both cases were dropped when Trump won the 2024 U.S. elections.
No justice! No justice! No justice!
Inner city neighborhoods just trying to get back to the community and attending these rallies like this one right here. So I really appreciate them for bringing culture to politics just like we do here with the Long Live Go-Go.